If you've ever had this feeling that something was terribly wrong with the world that we live in, but you couldn't figure out just what it was, then you've come to the right place. Secret societies, mystery religions, and the Illuminati have been controlling our reality since the beginning of time. But not anymore, because there is an awakening happening, and you are about to become a part of it. Wake up, because this is a call for an uprising.
This is a call for an uprising. Welcome to today's show. I've covered this before. It's important to understand how they use subliminal messaging in music, how they use repetition, because people hear songs and they don't think about what they're saying. They think it relates usually to something that they're not really talking about, right? When those love songs, they think they're talking about an ex-girlfriend. They're really talking about their love of Satan, their vow and their oath to Satan. We hear all the time them talk about the devil in music. We hear them talk about magic. If you haven't seen the video I did on magic, and all the songs called magic, all the lyrics revolving around magic, how it's right in our faces, but we never realize it, I recommend you check that video out. Because they are subliminally programming people into accepting this new age spirituality, which is worshiping Satan. They are using all of these terms like love, 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 which is leaked into Christianity, where they're taking Jesus Christ's own words about love and compassion and mercy, and they are manipulating Christians into this love and tolerance movement. It is a massive deception. Today I want to talk about another word that is used in music all the time, and nobody thinks about it. Nobody realizes, wow, I didn't know they said that so many times. What are they referencing? And that is the word light. There are thousands of songs and albums titled Light, referring to light or lights. Now, they're not doing that because they're huge fans of Thomas Edison. They're not doing it because they have money invested in General Electric and they want you to know, hey, lights are great. Yeah, guess what? We all enjoy lights. It's easier than lighting a candle or walking around with a lantern these days. But that's not what they're referencing. Now, it's important to realize that the occult, these Satanists, they twist everything. They flip everything upside down. We all know as Christians that Jesus Christ is the light. We know from Scripture, John 8:12, when Jesus spoke again to the people, he said, I am the light of the world. Whoever follows me will never walk in darkness, but will have the light of life. Now, what they do is they take that and twist it because they believe that Satan is the true light. All of their teachings from Crowley to LaVey to Albert Pike in Freemasonry talk about Lucifer as being the light bearer. Albert Pike in Morals and Dogma, which all of these Masons have to read when they go through and they rise up in the ranks of Freemasonry. He says, Lucifer the light bearer, strange and mysterious name to give to the spirit of darkness. Lucifer the son of the morning, is it he who bears the light, and with its splendorous, intolerable, blinds, feeble, sensual, or selfish souls? Doubt it not. He is referencing Lucifer as being the true light, Lucifer as being the morning star. They invert this. They don't believe in Jesus. They read the Bible upside down. They believe that Satan is the light of the world, a true light. These people are sick. They're demented. And these musicians plant these seeds in people's heads about lights all the time, just like they do with magic, just like they do with love. This is all part of accepting the Antichrist. Even Anton LaVey in the Satanic Bible talks about Lucifer being the bearer of light, the spirit of the air, and the personification of enlightenment. It has been said, he claims in the book, the truth will make men free. See how they mock Jesus Christ? Because Jesus says, the truth shall set you free. The truth alone has never set anyone free. This is according to LaVey and Satanism. It is only doubt which will bring mental emancipation. Without the wonderful element of doubt, the doorway through which truth passes would be tightly shut, impervious to the most strenuous poundings of 1,000 Lucifers. This is from LaVey's Satanic Bible. Now, Crowley also makes reference to Lucifer being the true light. So again, they take scripture, they take what we know, which is Jesus Christ being the light of the world, and they've made Satan the light of the world. Now, Christians get fooled because when they hear this, when they hear celebrities talk about God, they think they're talking about our Father in heaven. They don't realize that Beyonce and all these celebrities are talking about Satan, because they just assume they're talking about God. They don't know about these occult teachings, these secret teachings. So they're being led astray into following this new age type of Christianity, which preaches love and preaches tolerance. This will lead to the acceptance of the Antichrist by these people who are being deceived. That's why it's so important to understand what the enemy's doing. Right? What's the famous line from The Godfather? Keep your friends close and your enemies closer. It is important to know what the enemy is doing and what they are talking about, because you yourself as a listener can be under mind control without realizing it from listening to this music. They're attacking us 24/7 spiritually. We are under spiritual warfare. It is always going on. You might not even realize it. You might say, okay, I'm done. I'm tired from a long day at work. You might be somebody who listens to this channel every day, but you might be in the car and you put the radio on. You hear Kanye West, All of the Lights. You hear another song about lights. You don't know what they're really saying. You're just in an alpha state of mind now as you listen. You don't realize that they're subliminally programming you through repetition for all of these things. This is what they're doing to the masses out there who refuse to hear the truth, who refuse to hear the gospel, who refuse to wake up and realize that spiritual warfare is real and the enemy is attacking at all corners, 24/7. It is relentless. Now, let's look at a list of some of these songs. This is how ridiculous it is. There's a list. I mean, the list, just like the list of songs named Magic. If you, again, watch that video if you haven't seen it that I did. But look at all the songs. Now, you would think, before I read this list, just think to yourself, right, for 1 second, if you really were a musician, okay, and you were saying, man, I want to be a musician. You know, all I have to do is make a good song and someone will pick me up and I'll be on the radio, right? That's how the common person thinks. They don't realize this whole thing is controlled, that you have to be one of them. And then they push these people down everyone's throats. That's the only reason these people are liked, is because they force them onto people. These people are professional losers, these musicians, these celebrities, okay? They need to realize that if they were just starting a YouTube channel or something like that, nobody would listen and nobody would care. They force them on the people, and that's the only way that they get popularity. These people are insecure, and they know that. They know it. This system is what's giving them the popularity and the fame and the fortune that they desire. But if you were just naive and you were thinking, hey, I'm going to start a band and, oh, I'm going to write a song and they're going to pick up on it, right? Would your first song be called Stairway to Heaven, or would your first song be called Magic, when you know that there's thousands of songs called Magic and Stairway to Heaven? Don't you think these musicians would go, what do you want to call a song? Well, let's call it Lights. Well, wait, aren't there songs? Doesn't Kanye West have a song called Lights, All of the Lights, and these other musicians? Oh, yeah, maybe we should name it something else. It's because they want that. They know that there's thousands of songs called Magic and thousands of songs called Light. This is part of the agenda. This is part of repetition, right? They know that people are so dumbed down that they wouldn't even go, why is the song called Light when there's thousands of songs called Light? Why is the song called Magic when you can name 55 songs called Magic off the top of your head? Because they have to do this. They want to do it. And all the main musicians have songs that refer to magic and songs that refer to light. And this is referring to Lucifer because they believe that he is the true light, when in reality, they are deceiving people because the true light of this world is Jesus Christ. Here are some songs. A Million Lights, Cheryl Cole. All of the Lights, Kanye West. All the Little Lights, Passenger. Billion Lights, JLS. Bright Lights, Matchbox 20. Matchbox 20, I had to have a laugh about that. Haven't heard their name in a long time. Bright Lights, Aldo Nova. Bright Lights, Gary Clark Jr. Burning Lights, Chris Tomlin. Chasing Lights, The Saturdays. Christmas Lights, Coldplay. City Lights, Blindside. City Lights, Tim McGraw. City Lights, Method Man and Redman. City of Blinding Lights, U2. Dim All the Lights, Donna Summer. Flashing Lights, Kanye West. Guiding Lights, Earth, Wind, and Fire. Hit the Lights, Metallica. Hit the Lights, Jay Sean. Hit the Lights, Selena Gomez. Kill the Lights, Britney Spears. Kill the Lights, The Dream. Kill the Lights, Luke Bryan. Lights, Journey. Lights, Ellie Goulding. Lights, Josh Ritter. Lights, Come On, Jason Alden. Lights Go Out, Fozzy. Lights on, KDB. Lights on, Sean Paul. Lights out, UFO. I mean, the list goes on and on. I could read this list for hours. Low lights, Kanye West. Is that a coincidence that Kanye West has 3 songs referring to light? We've seen Kanye West mock Jesus Christ over and over, whether it's him having Yeezy on stage and doing this, he calling himself Yeezy. I mean, it's just disgraceful. It's disgusting. But this is what they're doing. Aerosmith, out go the lights. Santana, put your lights on. Billy Ray Cyrus, Runaway Lights. See the Lights by Simple Minds. Sammy Hagar, Silver Lights. Kanye West, another one, Street Lights. So what do you think? Kanye West has all the lights and he has street lights. You think Kanye West is just a huge fan of lights? Is he taking all the money that he's making? Is he investing in all the light companies that he could possibly find? Does he have posters on his wall of Thomas Edison? I mean, you got to think that way, right? You have to think that way. Say, why is he constantly talking about it? But people don't think like that. They just go. They just work like robots. They walk around like robots, like zombies, without asking questions, without going, why are they constantly doing this? Why are they constantly pushing this down my throat? The Lights, Becky G. Turn on the Lights by Future. Turn your lights down low, Bob Marley. Underneath the Lights, The View. Vegas Lights, Panic at the Disco. The list just goes on and on and on and on. And this is what's going on. This is not done by coincidence. These musicians, they're aware that there's other songs about lights. They're not huge lights fans. I mean, all of us really appreciate lights in our homes, right? Isn't it great that you can go to the bathroom in the middle of the night and you're not going to trip over something because you could put a light on, or maybe you got a night light, right? This isn't what they're referring to. Kanye West isn't obsessed with street lights because he likes to go out in the street at night and he uses the street lights so he could see during his street night jog. This is referring to Lucifer. And again, it goes back to the teachings of Crowley. It goes back to LaVey talking about Lucifer and the light. And of course, Albert Pike. Lucifer, the light bearer. Strange and mysterious name to give to the spirit of darkness. Lucifer, the son of the morning. This is what they're taught. This is what the enemy is taught. And this is what they're indoctrinating society into believing. Don't you see the confusion and the deception here? Because most people, when they hear the word God, they think of our Father in heaven. When they hear light of the world, they think of Jesus Christ. They're indoctrinating them and preparing them to accept the Antichrist. They have flipped all of this stuff. And this is what they're teaching and getting people prepared for. That's why there's all these songs about lights. I'm sorry, Thomas Edison, they're not about you. I know you're rolling over in your grave upset right now, but really, they're not just huge fans of yours. They don't have your posters on the wall, and they're not dressing up as you for Halloween. Although I'm sure some of these Satanists during their rituals probably do dress up as you, Thomas. So maybe that gives you a little bit of happiness in the afterworld or wherever you are rotting, because I'm sure you're one of them as well. Folks, this is what it's about. This is what they do. It's important to understand the enemy, okay? If you don't understand the enemy, you get walked on. If you're someone who can't handle this stuff, that's fine. You don't have to listen. There's no salvation through knowing the enemy. Salvation is only obtained through Jesus Christ. But if you're somebody who wants to wake others up, this is how we all woke up to the deceptions of the world, is through seeing the evil in the world, through seeing what they were doing. There's so many Christians and so many people who are lost who refuse Christianity because they see the New Age Christianity that's being pushed and they're turned off by it. They don't realize that there's an enemy at play here. There's an enemy that's attacking them day after day without them realizing they're under attack and they're being put under mind control. So it's important to know that. You will not find salvation through knowing the enemy. You will only find it through Jesus Christ. However, it is important to know your enemy, especially if you want to help wake others up and break them out of this bondage that they're under in loving and worshiping the things of this world. I thank you all for listening to today's show. God bless all of you and your families. And again, just because you put lights on in your house, it doesn't mean that you're okay. Just so people know, because sometimes people go, what am I supposed to do? I can't put my lights on now? Okay, Jesus is the true light. Lucifer is nothing but a skid mark in people's underwear, okay? That's what Lucifer is. But I'm telling you, this is how they look at it, and this is how they brainwash people. God bless all of you and your families.